Welcome to Long Road Sixth Form College. Even though it's virtual, we're here to give you a flavour of what the college is like. We know that you're busily thinking about the future and where you're going to apply to go and what you're thinking of doing. I'm Olwyn Benjamin. I'm assistant principal at the college. I've got a back room team who are sitting by their laptops waiting to answer questions. So as we're doing the presentation, if you have got questions, do type them into the chat line and they will get back to you. We've got a head of department for curriculum, we've got a head of department for guidance and welfare and academic support for anyone who has specific learning difficulties or other issues. We've got someone from the welfare team, someone else from the guidance team, and the star show of the show at the end of my bit will be interviewing some of our students. So we've got some students for you to meet later on. Okay, so if we have a think about Long Road and how we operate, perhaps my assistant will turn us on to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so we're a specialist sixth form college. And what does that mean? Well, it's different from studying at school. It's still got lots of things about it that are like school, but you feel, we hope, that you are more like an adult. We give you more responsibility for your own learning, and we hope that we treat you as an individual and that we tailor what you're studying and what you're aiming to do so that they fit well together, and we see you through the whole of your course here. Not all the learning will be in classrooms, and as we know, with the current situation, we're getting very skilled at teaching remotely, and our students are coming in for some of their lessons and they're having some of their lessons online. And what that helps us to do, of course, is not just give that blended learning experience, but there are lectures, workshops, expert talks that are related to people's study programs that we can also access. So there's a lot going on here. It's very, very busy. Even if you're not in college in the building, there'll be a lot for you to do. And certainly thinking about from the beginning, right at the beginning of this whole process in year 11, we're trying to think with you, what are your future goals? And how can we get the right course for you, and how can we help you to achieve those goals? So what kind of courses do we offer here? One of the advantages of going to a sixth form college is that, as you can see on the screen, we offer all these different subjects and different ways of working and different levels of course. So you can see there that we've got level 2 courses, so those are for students who haven't quite made the level that we need for going on to A levels or diplomas, and that gives those students an opportunity to resit some courses, to do new level 2 courses, and to get them to the level and the qualifications, get them to achieve those qualifications, which puts them in a good position for going on. Most of our students who do the level 2 aim to come into level 3 and stay at Long Road. It's a consolidation year. It's a year for some students who perhaps for all kinds of reasons haven't been able to achieve those qualifications. Perhaps they've not been well, perhaps they've missed a little bit of time in school. Maybe they haven't always given their studies all their attentions for whatever reason. And so that's an opportunity for them to get those qualifications to move on. You can see that massive list of A levels that we offer. And that's because we're a big place. We're a big college, 2,400 students this year, I think. And that means that we can offer lots of different combinations of courses. So you don't have to do chemistry, physics and maths. You can do media studies, chemistry and sociology if you wanted to, although I wouldn't say that's a particularly good combination. But you can see how we can tailor for you the course that's going to suit you best. And alongside the level 3 A levels, we have level 3 diplomas. Now, the distinction used to be that the diploma was good because it didn't have any exams. Well, that's not the case anymore. Most of the diplomas have got some examined elements to the course, but they still have a different way of working, more continually assessed units. Some of you will have had experience of this at level 2 in your schools. More vocational focus, and generally speaking, if you do a diploma, you will spend often quite a lot more time specialising in one subject area. And at Long Road, we also offer, and this isn't something that you'll be thinking about now, but maybe in the future, we have a very successful art and design foundation course, which is at level 4. So some of our students who study art and design technology, decide to stay at Long Road to do their foundation year for their degree course in art and design, rather than going off to university or art college to do that straight away. So you can see that there is a massive amount of choice. There's a huge range, a huge number of subjects, different levels of course, and our aim is to welcome you here to really look at what is it that you want to do in the future, what's the combination of courses that you would like to do there, and to be able to say, yeah, we can offer you that. Very rarely do we say to somebody, actually, you can't have that combination. In fact, we're much more likely to go to a department and say, can you move your course on the timetable so that it will fit for everybody? And that's one of the reasons why you would choose to come to a sixth form college. So what's the difference between a diploma and A-levels, and how can you mix things up? So we give you that freedom to create your own study combination, and you can go down the route of 3 A-levels. You basically have to have 3 units of study, so 3 separate A-levels, or you might want to do an extended diploma. So for example, if you're really keen on something like health and social care or sport, and you know that's what you want to do in the future, and you decide that you'd like to do a diploma, that diploma will be the equivalent of 3 A-levels. It will be the same level, so it will be level 3. Universities will look at it in the same way if that's the route that you want to go, that you're aiming for. So that's the equivalent of 3 A-levels. You can decide to do 3 of our smaller separate extended certificates, which are applied courses. So you might, for example, decide to do business, sport, and criminology, all with the same kind of assessment patterns as the extended diplomas, where you do a combination of work units and exams, and but they're all more applied. Or you could do one of our diploma courses worth 2 A-levels and one of those smaller unit courses, an extended certificate. And just as I was saying earlier, one of the advantages to a sixth form college is you can mix them all up as well. So if you have a look in the final column, you can see how you can put 1 or 2 A-levels together with one of the extended certificates or diplomas. So for example, you might want to do health and social care plus A-level psychology. Perfectly feasible in the way that we can organise things. You might want to do sociology, politics and criminology. That will be the bottom, 2 A-levels and 1 applied course. So lots of things to choose from. And when you make your application, because I know this can seem a little bit confusing at first, we'll be able to invite you in either in person, hopefully by then, or virtually as we did it this year, for a guidance interview so that we can talk through what's going to suit you best in terms of your qualification level, your ways of working, and where you're heading, your aspirations. Okay, so then we have to think about what else are you going to get from Long Road? Well, we're very proud of our staff here and the dedication that they have, and they're very highly qualified, very experienced, and they're all specialists in their subject areas. We have groups of about 20 in the classrooms. Our maximum size is 24. It averages out at about 19. So these class sizes require you, as somebody in those lessons, to get involved in discussions, and this works remotely as well as in class. Develop your own views on things, express your own opinions, to really get involved. And we hope that our ways of teaching are very participatory, that we want you to not sit back and listen to a lecture, like, I'm sorry, it might sound like that a bit today, but to get involved, to ask questions, and I hope you're typing your questions in as we speak, and group work. So all the things that you enjoyed most probably about being in your secondary school, we will continue as you come on up to Sixth Form College. And higher levels of independence. That's something else that we'll be expecting from you. You're not going to be here, how your week will look will be very different from your week at the moment in secondary school. The college day does run from 9 till 4:10, so very similarly, but you won't have lessons from 9 o'clock till 4:10. You'll have independent study periods so that you will be working on your assignments, carrying out research, exploring things around your course. The amount of time you spend in the classroom is only one little bit of your studying towards your level 3 or level 2 qualification. You have 3 subjects, so your total lesson time each week is 13.5 hours. But as I've said, as you can see, the picture that's on your screen is of our Learning Resource Centre, and that's usually buzzing with students all getting on with their own work. And to be a successful student at A level or at level 3 diploma, you really need to be prepared to take responsibility for your own learning. And the advantage is that you've chosen your subjects. No one's saying you've got to do this, and we're saying, okay, what have you chosen to do? You could really get the opportunity to get involved with your subjects and with your learning. So we want you to become the best that you can be. We hope that we offer you inclusive community. We welcome people from all over the county, and some of the people watching this presentation tonight might not be from one of our partner schools. So, you know, it's worth you thinking about coming here, even if you have got a bit of a journey. We'll talk to some of the students about that later, because what we can offer you is not just that great range of courses that I was talking about earlier, but we want to offer a really happy and friendly and inclusive community, tailored to your needs, with the support that you need. We pride ourselves. I know, you know, people say, what's the difference? What is it about Long Road? And I think what we pride ourselves on at Long Road is that we do try to give support to students. We realise and we recognise that everybody, we all need a bit of support from now at some point in our course, and you'll have a progress coach assigned to you to help you from the minute you make your application and you start to arrive at Long Road and settle in, right the way to, at the moment, the guidance team are all busily working away with our Oxford, Cambridge medics applications. So they will, the progress coaches is a team which will help you right the way through to making your applications to universities, for apprenticeships, for employment, and giving you advice along the way. And also our welfare team are here for people where sometimes something might have a little wobble along the way, and that's quite normal. And we've got lots of people here who can offer you the support to get you through. And we want to make you the best that you can be, as we all hope to be. If we look at the next slide, some of the questions that we get are also around sport, enrichment. What else is there? What else can we do at Long Road? Well, I'll admit that some of it is a little different at the moment. We have got indoor and outdoor sports facilities. We've got a fabulous gym, but we've also got a lot of things happening in the online community. We've got a chess group that are getting involved in tournaments online. We've got a pride club. We've got a Black People's Society. We've got online volunteering. Lots of talks are being put online for students to access about lots of different issues, but sometimes to do with your subject, sometimes just your general interest. We have a thing called the Extended Project Qualification, the EPQ, which offers you a proper qualification and points for university, and that allows you to choose a topic that you're really fascinated by, that might be a hobby that you do, or it might be a field of interest and research that you've been involved in, and you can put that together for a project, and that's extremely popular with universities and employers because it shows what you are interested in and what you can do when you're given the opportunity to develop something which you're already passionate about. I talked about the kind of work that's going on today, given that the deadline for Cambridge and Oxford and so forth universities is this week, and we help students who are aspiring towards that kind of outcome with groups that get together and interview practice and so forth. The same for students who are aiming for other fields. We like to get you together. There's a big careers support department, lots of events that go on, including virtual work experience. So you can actually get some experience of working online. And some of our students have let us know how they get on. We always want to hear from our ex-students as well as the students who are here, who are going to talk to you in a minute. So Saffron here, she did a level 3 applied science extended diploma, and she decided, she was from Soham, if anyone watching is out from Soham, you might know her, and she decided to apply for a degree apprenticeship rather than go down the traditional degree route. And as she says here, she left in May 2019 and she decided to take that opportunity, and she's now doing this apprenticeship through bioinformatics at Illumina. So and she's looking very happy on it. So that's one of our students who went via the route of the diploma course. Another diploma student was Kess, who last year, just this summer, she'll just be starting now, she went to St Bede's, and she is going to be doing fine art at Oxford University, and she did a level 3 art and design diploma with us. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, is the diploma the right thing to do? Well, there's a good example of how that's worked out really well. And as she says in the quote there, she studied the BTEC Art and Design Extended Diploma, and the tools given to me by this course allowed me to define myself as an artist, which I think we were talking about earlier, about trying to help you find out what you're interested in, what your passion is, and to help you become the best you can be at that. She says you'll never feel alone at Long Road. It's a place where you truly become yourself and prep yourself for the real world. I hope she's enjoying her first week at Oxford doing art. And other students we've got, Alex. Alex has gone up to the University of Liverpool and he's doing a BA in English Literature. He studied A-levels with us. He did English Literature, History and Sociology. He was at Comberton. And as he says here, the best thing about studying at Long Road was the capacity given to study in your own unique way, not to be judged for that, but instead encouraged. It's an interesting way of looking at it. So feeling that you are encouraged to be yourself is what he's saying. So we have got lots of other opportunities for you to find out more about Long Road. We have got virtual open evenings coming up. They're on the 17th and 18th of November, and they will be virtual, so it will be like this, but you'll get the opportunity then to see people from the different subject areas. So you'll be able to go, just like walking around Long Road and going and talking to people in the subjects that you're interested in, you'll be able to do the same but online and find out more about your subjects. We've also got welcome days in June, and that's when our students come who've applied to come with us to get a taste of what it's like to be an applicant, to find out more about summer work, how they can prepare themselves for the year to come. And there are some normal open evenings for year 10s for any of you who've got younger siblings, but of course you're welcome to come and visit at any point in any of these times that we're advertising. The thing is to keep an eye on your various social media accounts. And I think the last screen will tell us, so we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, and we've got a website. And we'll be posting on those and keeping you up to date with any developments, and you'll be able to find out how to book in to the open evenings that are coming up in November. Okay, so watch out for that, and we'll keep in touch. If you keep logging onto those different social media platforms, then you'll find out more about what's going on at Long Road. But as we've got some students here, let's turn to those students and find out a little bit more. I've got some of your questions that people have been asking, so I'm going to put those to our students. And first of all, I think Tom, is Tom there?
Hey,
Hi, Tom. Hi, thanks so much for coming. So perhaps you could introduce yourself to the people who are watching us tonight.
yeah, so my name's Tom. I went to Sound Village College back in 2 years ago now, and I'm in year 2 studying English, history and psychology.
Okay, and so when you were a year 11 student, like a lot of people watching tonight, what was it that made you want to choose to come to Long Road?
It was the openness of like the campus. It was much bigger than what I was used to. It felt like a different environment completely than what I was used to, and I wanted that different like independence that you don't get at secondary school.
Okay, and so what advice would you give to year 11 students who are thinking about sixth form college as an option?
You have to like consider your options a lot and like think about whether that's what is going to work for you. And I think online does work for a lot of people because there's a lot of different options there. So if you're a bit unsure, there's always like 4 or 5 different things you can do here.
Okay, now I've had some questions, so I'm going to give these questions to you that are coming in. So we know that there's at the moment we're doing this blended learning. So what is it like to have virtual learning?
Well, I'm quite enjoying it actually because I get a little bit of a lay-in. I don't have to get up as early to get into it. I mean, there's some upsides and downsides to it, obviously, but I think it's going quite well. You know, it's not quite the same as being in college, but it's as good as it can be. And there's still all the support from the staff there, if not more so, because you're even more in touch now. Even like when that lesson ends, you're still in touch with them a lot more.
Okay, so I've got a question here. What is your timetable like?
So I'm quite lucky. I get Wednesdays off this year, which is it's quite nice. I mean, Fridays are quite full, but I do like EPQ and then like extra maths and stuff. So, but other than that, it's quite a balanced timetable of, you know, I come in, I have like 1 or 2 lessons maybe a day, and then I get to leave again.
Okay, so I've got a question here about transport. Is it easy getting to college? What's transport like for you?
So for me, it's about an hour to get into college every morning. So I have to drive in and then get a bus in, and then most days I walk in because I quite like the walk, but there is obviously the bus, which is an option when it's wet and cold, which I do take. I like to walk in the rain, but no, it's quite a nice walk. It's quite straightforward. It's just pretty much one long road. So.
And are you able to do any work on the bus? And can you catch up with some work, or is that difficult?
Yeah, I try not to catch up on the bus. I try to make sure I've got it all done. But if I ever do need to I can do it on the way in and like revise and stuff.
Okay, so I've got another question here. What support is there for students, Tom, in your experience?
In my experience, there's been a fair bit of support. I'm in quite like quick contact with my progress coach quite often, and sort of like I had a meeting with her today actually about like my personal statement, and then so she's always there to help no matter what. I know you see them like once a week, and then with the teachers, they're always looking for how they can help you more, and always looking for a way that they can give you that extra support.
Great, excellent. Okay, I'm going to ask Aditi to come in, but don't go away, Tom, because we'll come back to you a bit later. So if Aditi's there, we've got some questions for you. Hi. Hello. Hi. So again, can we start you off with you introducing yourselves to the people watching?
So I'm Aditi. I went to a secondary school in India. I moved to UK straight to Loughborough. I'm in year 2 doing physics, chemistry and maths.
Okay. So I've got some questions for you, Aditi, from our listeners, watchers. Do you have to wear uniform?
No, you can wear anything you feel comfortable in.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay, you feel more like yourself rather than, yeah, okay. Sure. Okay, is there summer work? So I guess people are thinking, how do they prepare to come here? But yeah.
Yeah, summer work for all the students joining for year 1. And I think the summer work for this year is on the college website, so people can maybe have a look to get an idea of what it's. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's right. So here's a good one. Do you call your teachers Sir and Miss?
No, we call our teachers by their first names.
I suspect the person knew the answer to that, don't you think? Yeah. So yes, and does that make a difference to how it feels?
I'd say it feels more friendly, and it's not like, the teacher-student interaction is very, frank, I'd say, and it's not like you have to be, afraid from your teachers or anything. It's comfortable.
Yeah. So you came from secondary school in India, so you had quite a big transition and change. So how did that feel? What was it like, that moving up to sixth form studying in Cambridge?
I'd say it was more independent, and as we have free study times, it was more easier to manage your time between what you want to do personally, private study, and what you're going to learn in your lessons. It was quite well laid out.
Do you find that you have to do quite a lot of private study?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And our other student is Owen. So we'll come back to you. Don't go away, Aditi. Well, but let's see if Owen's with us. Hello. Is Owen there? Maybe not.
Yes.
Yes,
sorry.
Here he is. Hello, Owen. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hi there. So, Owen, can you introduce yourself to people?
Yes. I am Owen. I am in year 2, and I went to Compton Village College for my secondary school. I am currently studying maths, chemistry, and politics.
Okay. So that's an interesting combination. So, Owen, I've got some questions here that are coming in, so I'm going to ask you, what is there to do outside of class? I know I can answer a bit of that for you, Owen, because you're a college governor, aren't you? Student governor.
There are loads of things to do outside of class. We have basically anything that you're interested in, you can do as like part of like school enrichment. So we have a really good gym. We have loads of sports teams for sports like football. hockey and netball. We have, as you mentioned, clubs for different groups like the Pride Club, the Black Person Society. I think there's also a Christian Society.
Yes, there is.
I've been part of the Debate Club in the past, which is very fun, and I'm currently part of the Dungeons and Dragons Club. And obviously we can't meet in person at the moment, so we're running online, like the chess club is at the moment. I am, as you said, the student governor, so I participate in board meetings with the college board, and each year has their own student governor. So if you're thinking of joining, that might be something you want to potentially sign up to do when you join. There's also the Gold DofE, which is something that lots of students like to partake in.
Yeah, thank you. So obviously at secondary school, somebody's asking here, do you still have tutor time?
Yes, but we don't really call it tutor time. We have meetings with our progress coaches, and they'll give talks on very important topics, stuff that you might normally get in PSHE at secondary school, as well as some topics which are chosen by students, so like the environment and things which we find very important. As well as this, your progress coach, as you have mentioned before, is like just someone there to support you at college, and it's really nice to know that there's always someone who's got your back at college and you can turn to and ask questions about your future and stuff like that.
Okay, great. This is related to the other things that you've been talking about. So, are there? Have you been on any school trips, or have there been visitors?
Yeah, there are. Normally, we would have loads of visitors all throughout the year, but obviously because of COVID, we're a bit restricted on that. There are still, however, online workshops and online work experience that you can do, which are really great. I'm taking part in one of those. I'm taking part in the Kennedy Law Firm work experience online, which is really fun. As for school trips, yes, there are school trips. When I previously was on the design technology course, but I swapped to maths. When I was on the design technology course, I went to the University of Design in London, which was a great trip. If you take any art subjects or any design subjects, you can expect a lot of trips to museums and things like that. And normally, without COVID, we'll have lots of visitors from universities and different places which are offering apprenticeships to come and give talks to students who are thinking of applying to those places.
Great, okay. And in these circumstances, of course, we're doing things online, so we're trying to, there's lots of virtual, like you said, virtual work experience and virtual tours of galleries and so forth, and trying to make the most of what the opportunities are without having to go there. What is the college campus like? Some people haven't actually been here. I think Tom said he really liked the openness of it. How would you describe it, Owen?
I would agree with Tom. The campus is lovely and open. It's like there's a big central courtyard and all of the buildings sort of surround that. As well as that, we have loads of green space. There's a massive field. And because right now, obviously, we have to do social distancing in the hallways, they've added some extra marquees outside where students can go and eat lunch. And they're not like tiny gazebos or anything. These are giant marquees which can house loads of students at once. Other than that, the campus is pretty actually. We have a nice wooden walk section and it's very relaxing and not too cramped, and I quite like the campus personally. Okay, thanks. So Tom, I'm going to come back to you now because I've got a few other questions, and this is a nice one. So our slogan is belong. What does that mean then for you? How do you relate to that slogan?
To me, belong, it means we're all part of the same family. At Long Road, it's a very inclusive and helpful family. Like there's always somebody that's there to lend a hand or just be there. Like if you want to do anything, and I think that's what belong means to me. Is you're part of something bigger than just you, while also remaining like as yourself. Okay, lovely. And so when you came here, obviously everybody's new on the first day, but how easy was it to make friends? For me, it was very easy. I talk to everyone. I don't ever stop talking. So I think I made like loads of friends in the first couple of days. And I mean, everyone's really friendly. Everyone's in the same boat as you as well. So they're all looking to make new friends. So it's easy enough to just talk. And are you given help to make friends in lessons and so on? Yeah, so there is that opportunity as well in lessons. At the start you all introduce yourselves and you get to know each other, and then you've got your tutorial, and then that's another way where you get closer with people that way. Okay, great. So
we were talking about whether or not you people work on the bus on the way here and so forth. What's the workload like? How do you feel? How do you feel it is, the workload? Is there masses to do, or how does it work out for you?
So I don't think there's ever, I wouldn't call it masses to do. There's definitely, there's a lot to do. You know, it's not GCSEs, it is a step above it. There's a lot to do, but it's managed well. You do, and you know, you have the space in lessons, and then because of how the timetabling works out, you have those periods in between where you do get to like do your work, and like whilst there is a lot, it's not too much. You know, it's manageable.
Yeah, it's manageable. Okay, but being organised is quite important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and oh, here's a good one. You're going to have to be careful what you say here, though. What are your teachers like? I think you've answered it a little bit, but
Yeah, no. So I've had really good experiences with all my teachers. Everyone's always friendly. They're always really nice, and they are always looking to go that extra step for the students in their class. They're not just there to deliver the lesson and they're done. That's it. Like there's always an open door to ask for help.
well done, right answer. Yeah, great, thank you. So Aditi, can Aditi come back now? Yeah. Hi. So Aditi, we've got a few questions here that are about logistics. So can I leave college when I'm not in class? What do you do if you're not in class? Can you go out?
So for me, I don't have any gaps in my timetable. So whenever I finish my lessons, I just go home. It's not like you have to stay up till 4 or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lesson, you stay if you want to, as in after a lesson. But
Yeah.
I also go to the LRC sometimes to study after lessons.
That's the library, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So as the answer to the question then is that if you haven't got a lesson, you don't have to be on the college site. You can be working independently at home, but obviously sometimes you've got a gap between lessons and you're in the resource centre. So is that one of the main ways that sixth form is different? What other ways is sixth form different from school?
I'd come again to the independent studying bit. There are a lot more time for yourself to plan your study personally, and then I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And in these days with the COVID situation, obviously, which we're all grappling with, I mean, how safe do you feel back at college? Does that feel? Someone's asking here about how safe it feels.
For my lessons, so we usually wipe our desks when we leave, so it's kind of reassuring that everybody's doing the same, and the tables are clean for people to use. Everybody is wearing masks around side, and also we're following the 6 people rule at college. No more than 6 people can be around together.
Yeah.
So I feel quite safe.
Yeah, and Owen talked about the big marquee areas where they're not marquees like tents with sides. They're open, aren't they, at the sides? So you're not getting rained on if it is raining, but you've got somewhere you can be, which is quite open and airy, and you can socialise. So yeah, okay, well that's good to hear. And did you make friends from people from different schools? Well, you must have done, Aditi, because not many people would have come from your school. But do you feel that people interact? If you're coming from a small school or from a school where there aren't many other people coming to Long Road, do you think people mix up well?
Yeah. I mean, everybody, nobody's like, okay, I didn't know earlier. Everybody's friendly. That's the main thing. So yeah. I did make friends.
Excellent. That's great. Okay, good. So let's see if we can find Owen finally for a few final questions. Hi, Owen. So hello. We're thinking about here, how does the college support students? I think you've touched on this one already, Owen, but how does the college support students with their future plans, like university or apprenticeships?
Yeah, you're right. So obviously we have the progress coaches, who is basically someone who will be supporting you every single step of the way with your plans for university or apprenticeships or anything else like that. And obviously we have the people who come in from universities and apprenticeships to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like Oxbridge or any of the Russell Group universities, or if you're thinking of like doing some medical stuff, obviously we're right next to Addenbrooke's, so we have the Med Squad, which works with Cambridge University, which is really great if you are thinking of becoming a doctor or nurse or anything in that field. Or there's extra support for anyone who's thinking of applying to some of those really high up universities as well.
Okay, so from those elevated heights of thinking about going off to university, here's a question: do you have a canteen, and what's the food like?
Yeah, normally we have like a full functioning canteen, but at the moment it's a bit reduced because of COVID. But as well as the canteen, we also have our own on-site Costa, which is really nice to grab a nice hot drink in the morning when you basically just rolled out of bed onto the bus, got to college, and you're feeling very drowsy. As well as that, yeah, I'd say the food's pretty good. It's also a decent price. You can get, because I remember at my secondary school, if anyone listening is from Comberton, you'll know the food prices in the buttery are really high sometimes. So it's a nice change from that, where I can actually afford a meal every day. But yeah, I'd say the food at Long Road is actually pretty tasty. And they also have, I'm a vegetarian, and they always have vegetarian options other than just salad. So that's a nice change as well.
Okay, great. And another kind of question of logistics. Was it difficult to learn your way around? I remember when I first came to Long Road thinking it was really difficult to find my way. And then, of course, after a couple of days, I was fine. How did you find it?
I'd say it's absolutely walking the park, because even though the campus is huge and we have loads of different buildings, you only need to remember like 3, because you only have like your 3 different lessons. Obviously the ones you choose, and if you're doing like a diploma or something, you might have even less than that. So no, I'd say it's very easy to learn your way around, and even if you are struggling, everyone on campus is really supportive, and if you just ask them where is this classroom, they'll point you straight in that direction.
Okay, and then I think we talked about how we're in a new age of digital learning and so forth, and someone's saying here, can I take notes on my laptop?
Yeah, my handwriting is terrible. It is atrocious. It's unreadable. And yeah, of course you can take notes on your laptop. I feel like if I couldn't take notes on my laptop, none of my teachers would be able to mark any of my work. So just as well that you can. But yeah, you're allowed to take notes on your laptop, on tablets, on phones in some lessons as well. Yeah, so you're not just restricted to using old pen and paper.
Okay, so so much of what we're doing is about the future, isn't it, and what we've been talking about. So that's brilliant. So I really want to thank our lovely students for answering your questions. And on the screen now is just a reminder of staying in touch with us. We've got a few minutes left. You might want to look in the chat line and see some of the questions that have been coming in that we didn't get to answer, and hopefully our backroom team have been typing up answers to some of your questions there. Some of you who've asked more private questions, I hope you've had your questions answered as well. They won't be published on the chat line. And if you have got any other questions, you can see there on the screen we've got the Long Road email number and telephone number. And basically, please do stay in touch and put in your diary the dates for the open evenings, and make sure that you talk to the subject teachers as well. But I hope that this evening we've given you a bit of a flavour of Long Road Sixth Form College and made you want to find out more. Thank you very much indeed for everybody giving up your time and attending, and thank you to our lovely students, and let's hope that you will be one of them very soon. Good evening.